Okay, this could be exciting. If you'll notice two lights on, that means it has power, and once I wiggle it, it has power, but also the IR detector is detecting something. Over here it has power, IR detector isn't detecting anything. And the difference is, if we look down, you can't see much, but you can see it coming through there. You can see it coming through there. What I did is I wrapped this guy with some electrical tape. And what that means is I gotta get it down a little bit further in the track like that. But when I do, it's only the one light. And that guy is on bright, which is what is causing this guy to be on. So I'm going to do a test with this and wrap it with tape. This means that I may have found my issue, and once that issue is found, I can proceed and get these guys mounted a little more permanently. I'm just going to hot glue them in place. Okay, all I'm doing is just wrapping some tape around this. So we go in here and we cut a hunk of tape off like this, and then we jam it all the way down, because when I was doing some more testing, what I found was there was some light that was leaking through right at the base there. So I need this to slide down enough to fully cover the base. And then from there, I leave a little bit protruding along the top. Bring that around like that. And we'll snip this off about here. This will come down. That's a little too much. Just snip that off there. Okay, so now what we see is it covers the full area there and a little bit of top. If I pressed it hard, it would almost close up. Now let's go over and test that. Okay, so in each case there's only one LED lit. You can see I've got that light on. I got that light on full. I got that light on full. That's the one that was doing it. And from the top, these are down far enough that they're at tie height. And they're in a lot looser now, and so what I'm going to have to do is secure them better. But if you watch here, let's see if we can do this as the car goes across. Lights on, lights on. We'll do that one more time without the re-railer in. You can see lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on. Now the speedometer itself, doing a reset on, been doing some changing with code, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we'll see. Not all that well, huh? Okay, so we'll have to see why that's not working, but that's certainly a different issue than what I was having before. So at least the sensor now is doing what it's supposed to do. So this is what I've done. I've taken shrink wrap and put it on. You can see I scarred it a little there, but anyway, cut it down to the top. But the most important part of putting this shrink wrap on is I've got it completely covering the base here. And that base is where light was leaking through. And now I don't get an issue with light leaking through at all. So this then just fits up underneath here like this to about there. And then if you look at the top, we have just up high enough so that I can run my finger along the rails. That's that one. That's that one done the same way. Now, because I've taken these in and out so much, I need to fix these in permanently. So I'm going to use a little bit of whatever you call this stuff here from Staples. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I've already measured bigger pieces. These smaller pieces, as you'll see, fit. Take one of these out. These fit nicely here like that. Okay, what I'm going to do is that'll go on there like that. And then I'll take this and put it on like that. So that surface will then glue to the bottom. And I have a little tiny screw hole right here. And I'll grab a, let's see, I got a bunch of screws over here. Want some small guys. Here's some number 4 by 3/8. Look like that. They go through quite nicely. So then I'll just be able to screw that. Now, this isn't very hard material, so it's not going to hold up super well, but it will hold it in place. And if I need to, I can put a drop of hot glue on it. So the short term is to glue A to B. Put that there. Put some hot glue along the bottom. Of course, you can use any kind of glue that you want. I like hot glue. It'll, for this application, sets up fast. I can square everything up with the square. And press it in place. I have a little bit of glue that oozed out. I'll trim that. Stick your finger in it to tell if it's set or not. Anyway, that's one of them. Do the other one here. Same thing. Just gonna go there. Get a little more than I need. Kind of center that. Yeah, that all looks okay. Okay, let that set up for a little bit, and then once it does, we'll attach it onto the table. Alright, to glue these guys in, first off, I'm going to insert them to about where they should be. That's that one, and that's that one. Then these little guys are just going to go back in here like this, and like, move that out of the way, and like that. So I'll just put a little hot glue on the bottom, stick it in. Okay, a little bit of hot glue, well, maybe a lot of hot glue. Line it up where I want it. Gush that in place. Pull this out. Just in case there's some hot glue that kind of seeps around a little. Don't want to hot glue them in. I may later, but not right now. Get the second one. Gush some hot glue on. Like yay. And it'll go in like yay. Pull this out. Aha! Was a little bit of hot glue on there. Just line that up the way I want it. That's good. Yep. Okay, now we've got to give it a minute or two to dry, and then we'll come back and use screws and screw them through there. Just screw them in, which should be enough to hold it. If I move this around a lot, I was worried I'd use plywood, but for something that never gets touched down there, I just want to hold it in place against vibration. That should work perfectly. There, you can see how that guy's glued in. That guy's glued in. Now, we're going to put these back in. Push that up. Make sure it's where I want it on the other side. Take this one. Push it up. Make sure it's going up where I want it. Okay, that feels good. That feels good. Now let's hook them up to the speedometer. Okay, that one's looking good. That one's looking good. I don't know, it's maybe off a little, but okay. Now let's see what happens if I go through. Trips there, good. Trips there, that's good. So we go boinky boinky, boinky boinky, boinky boinky, boinky boinky. If I just pass my hand over it. Okay, so if my hand is about that height, it trips it. If a hand is about that height, it doesn't trip it. And that's about where I want it, because that makes sure that when this guy goes through, it gets it okay. And if I'm screwing around here, well, tough. So that's where I want them. Screw end. A little screwdriver, because these are like number 4s. Yeah, so that's all I need, just held firmly enough that everything's okay. Could probably done the same by pushing a pin in, but okay. Do another test here and see. Boink, boink. Yep. Boink, boink. Yep. Yeah, so that's working fine. And incidentally, I've managed to fix the code as well. I'll have to figure out how to show you what that looks like. But for the code now, if you look here, you'll see they're both blank. And if I go through, you get the 65 mile an hour. Let's put these so you can maybe see them. Well, there's wires in the way, but you go fast. We go back, so it's now, doesn't matter which way you go, and once you're through, it'll wait 10 seconds Actually, once it has the speed, it'll wait 10 seconds and then blank out, unless you got a super long train, and that's what this is emulating because it's over the exit point, and that speed will stay displayed until the train, however long it is, exits. And then once it exits, that'll blank out. Boink. Within 10 seconds. There you go. And going the other way, it's still... The other big change I did here is that when I have a train going through and another one right after it, it'll pick up the second speed. It doesn't have to delay for 10 seconds between trains or anything. Now, next up will be... Yeah, there it goes blank again. Wow, train went by. The next thing I need to do is figure out which one of these... Well, I'm going to use this one. I got to figure out where it's going to mount. And then I have to change this Uno in here for one of the smaller ones, then mount it all up in here, and then get power for that guy from somewhere and figure out how all that's going to go.